The sun is just starting to hit the pavement as three neighbors step out of their front doors to head to work. They are all heading off to do a full day's labor, but the way they are rewarded for that effort at the end of the day is going to look completely different. First, meet Suresh. He's a construction mason whose pay is tied directly to the clock. He earns a daily wage, which means he only gets paid for the exact hours or days he is on site laying bricks. If he isn't there to do the work, he doesn't get paid. Next door is Leela. She works at an office and earns a salary. This means she receives a set amount of money every month, and it doesn't change. Whether she has a quiet day at her desk or a mountain of paperwork to finish, her paycheck stays steady and predictable. Then there's Radha, who works at a local farm. Her reward isn't cash at all. She receives what's called compensation in kind. This is just a way of saying she trades her labor for the things she actually needs, like a share of the harvest and a room to live in on the farm. Those bags of grain Radha brings home are just as important as money. They go straight into her kitchen to feed her family, meeting her needs directly, without her ever having to stop at a store to buy food. It shows us that income isn't always paper bills. It's any real, tangible reward you receive in exchange for your time and your hard work. But life doesn't always go according to plan. A massive storm rolls into town, flooding the streets and forcing everyone to stay home for an entire week. For Suresh, the mason, this is a major problem. Since his daily wage depends on him being at the construction site, his income stops the moment the rain starts. With no work to do, there's no money coming in. Leela, however, doesn't have to worry about her bills. Because her salary is a fixed agreement for the month, she will still get her full paycheck, even though the storm kept her away from her office for days. This highlights the trade-off many people make. You can choose a job with a flexible daily wage, or you can choose the long-term security of a steady salary. The type of job you have dictates how well you can weather the storm when the unexpected happens. Once the sky's clear, the town gets back to business. Let's visit Rajesh the carpenter to see how work actually creates new money out of raw materials. Rajesh starts by heading to the market and spending 600 rupees on a stack of raw wood. He takes that wood to his shop and spends his time and energy cutting, sanding, and assembling it into a chair. He's using his tools and his talent to transform those plain boards into something much more useful. When he sells the chair for 1,000 rupees, that extra 400 he earned is called value addition. It's the price the world pays for his skill and effort. He's literally added worth to the wood. Now, let's look at Parvez, who runs a shop selling ready-made clothes. Parvez's income works differently because he has to manage what's called profit. Parvez brings in money from sales, but he doesn't get to keep it all. First, he pays for the wholesale clothes, then the shop's electricity, and finally the rent. The small amount left over is his profit. Parvez takes a risk every day. If nobody buys a shirt this month, he still has to pay his rent out of his own pocket. His profit is his reward for taking that financial gamble. Whether you are building furniture or running a shop, you are being rewarded for the value you add and the risks you are willing to take. If we look at these workers over an entire year, we start to see the rhythm of their financial lives. On this graph, Leela's salary is a perfectly steady line. Parvez's shop profit moves up and down like a wave, spiking during busy holidays. The town doctor earns a fee per patient. Her income looks like separate dots, depending on daily need. Just by looking at these shapes, you can see the different levels of stability and risk in every career path. Now that you see how it works, think about the things you use every day. Why does a jar of jam cost so much more than the simple fruit it was made from? That higher price is actually a stack of different people adding value. It pays the farmhand's wage for picking the fruit, the factory's costs for cooking it, the glass for the jar, and finally, the shopkeeper's profit for selling it to you. If that storm hits again and the market closes, you now know exactly what happens. The shopkeeper loses their profit, the laborer loses their daily wage, the office worker keeps their salary. Every job connects us to our community. The money we earn is just a reflection of the special value our work brings to everyone else.